Welcome to the Sisterhood Spotlight, a video podcast show that celebrates and shines the light on women who have overcome obstacles, tragedies, challenges, and have triumphed and succeeded. You will hear the stories of amazing women who are entrepreneurs, community leaders, corporate professionals, and so many more. These women will inspire, motivate, and encourage you by sharing their tools, knowledge, tips, and support that you need to be empowered to succeed. I am the Mindset and Empowerment Coach and your host, Pat Gillum. Hey, you guys, welcome to the Sisterhood Spotlight. I am so excited. Joining me today is my girlfriend, my sister, Vashi Worley Moore. She is going to share so much information with you guys all today. So you are in for a treat. If you are listening to the podcast right now, thank you so much. Go on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button so you can stay informed on all the amazing women that we are highlighting on this show. So without further ado, help me welcome my sister, my girlfriend, evangelist, Vashi Worley Moore. Vashi, welcome to the Sisterhood.
Thank you so much, Pat. It's a privilege to be with you this afternoon. So delighted to be here.
Well, it's awesome to have you. Thank you so much. Listen, I have been giddy because I get to have you on the show, and I know we've been trying to coordinate this now for quite some time, and it's awesome to make it actually happen. So I'm so excited. Tell the Sisterhood Spotlight viewers and listeners a little bit about who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is, of course, Vashi Worley Moore, and I am a native of Phoenix, Arizona. I represent proudly. Yes, been here, and love Arizona because the seasons really don't change. So, love Phoenix. Love Arizona. I am currently employed at Phoenix College in Student Life and Leadership with the focus of coordinating the pantry and community service. I am employed as a Mary Kay beauty consultant, which I love because it gives me an opportunity to empower women to be entrepreneurs and to take care of their families. I am also currently serving as the First Lady of Harbor Chapel AME Church in Flagstaff, Arizona. And I am the Praising in the AM Tuesday morning host for Praise.fm. So just a little bit about me. I am also married, of course, to Pastor Corey Moore, who serves in ministry with me at Harbor Chapel AME.
Wow. So you guys, she is a woman of many talents and wears many hats. So Vashi, how did you know that you wanted to go into ministry? Like, what was that call for you? Was that something you knew very early in life, or how did that transition happen for you?
So I am one that was raised and groomed in ministry. My parents are actually in ministry. My father is a pastor, and my mother, bless her heart, who's no longer with us, was First Lady. So I was groomed in ministry. It's something that I actually enjoyed participating in because, like many other people who attend service and enjoy fellowship, church is a part of your life. You know, it's you spend most days there, most evenings there, and they have a lot of activity, a lot of family-focused activities, and it's a good way to connect with the community. So I grew up and was groomed in church, and kind of knew that there was always a place in in my heart for God, but I can't say that I actually did what I was supposed to do when I was younger. I actually, explored life, did the clubbing thing, hung out with my friends and just kind of, lived life. It wasn't until I was about 18 years old. And I actually had an opportunity to, get to know some people, some friends that I didn't necessarily think agreed with the way that I wanted to live. And we ended up separating because of our differences in opinions and the way that we should live life. And also because a dear friend of mine went to the club and had an altercation, and it led to them following them home, and him dying. And so I just thought, this is not the kind of life that I want to live. God has something better for me, and it's time for me to change. So the tragedy is actually what brought me closer to God.
Wow, what an amazing story, because I know so many times, right, as young people we can be called and then we go out and explore and
Mhm.
we're always drawn back, right,
Right.
to that first calling. How difficult, or was it difficult for you, being so young and really dedicating your life in such a way? Were there mistakes or lessons that you learned during that time?
I think that um, when you're young, you don't appreciate the wisdom that the older generation shares with you, because you're really trying to transition into adulthood, which means that you're exploring and kind of learning about yourself and what you truly want as an individual. So I know for me, um, in my early years, I really struggled. I struggled because I wanted to, live a Christian life, but I wanted to live what most people would define as a secular life too. And it took me a while to kind of find a balance or harmony between the two, and to live authentically for Christ, without worrying about how people would judge me or how people would see me, or the way that I would interact with others because I am a Christian. There are some who consider you a holy roller, or consider you too religious or too spiritual if you want to just spend time, with Christ. So I learned to value my intimate moments with Him. I learned that, your relationship with Christ is personal. It's not about what everybody else thinks about you, or, the way that they see you worshiping. It's really about the connection that you have with God, who is the source of all things. So I think those are valuable lessons to learn as a Christian. That your walk is really a personal journey.
Yeah, that is so important, when you're talking about, walking this journey, that we are all on a journey, right? And we all have, I feel, different callings. And so when someone isn't walking the way we think they should be walking, a lot of times there's a lot of judgment that comes in, to our lives of other people. How have you been able to really be in a place, especially being called, right, to serve and minister others, to be non-judgmental? Or is there such a thing to be non-judgmental, because we are patterning our lives and we think everybody should be doing it the way we're doing it?
Mhm.
How do you balance that?
I don't know that it's possible not to pass judgment on others. I think we all do subconsciously. We look at the way that others dress, we look at the way that they wear their hair, the way that they interact with each other, if they have on a long enough dress or they wear pants. And I would say early on, that was one of the things that I struggled with, especially coming from a church that was very rigorous, and strict. They preferred women to wear pants, no makeup. And then here I am today, wearing pants and makeup. So the thing that I've learned to do is, really pray and seek God, because I know that I'm subject to judge my sister or my brother. But I also try to remember that I was there once before. And just like He saved me and He helped me to find my way to live with Him, He'll help them. And so the best thing that I learned to do is pray for them, and then if you see someone that is kind of walking or taking the same journey as you, then of course you try to offer them advice. But for the most part, I try not to pass judgment, because I know God is the only one that truly knows the heart.
Yes, very, very true. And I think that that's important when you are doing the work, that you're called to do, because it's easy to be around people who are just like you, have your same beliefs, have your same faith. Sometimes we're not called for those folks. They already got it figured out. We're called to help people who don't have it figured out, who do need that guidance and that being led to Christianity, or to, find out their source in a way, who their true provider is, right? Because so many times we rely on man to be our source, when we need to realize who our true source is and who we're connected to, because God actually uses all of us to get, obviously, what he wants to happen across. So we need to be able to be clear to distinguish that, I think, a lot of times. And a lot of people get so confused and they say, well, I hate church. I'm not going to church. They're fake. They're phony. They're hypocritical. All of these things people have heard. What is it that you and your husband are doing to really welcome people into your congregation, to help them feel comfortable, so that they know that they're obviously, that there's hope for them too?
I think the most important thing that we have learned to do so far is love people where they are, to see them, as they are in their current space, and then to speak life into them. So many people, especially with everything that's going on in the world today, so many people are dying, spiritually, and they feel like they have lost so much, and so they're in a state of grief and they need comfort. And the last thing you want to do is add to that. So I think that love changes the person. So we're just trying to love people where they are, and then encouraging them to walk with Christ in a way that they, know Him, and then that opens the door for them to grow in God's grace.
I love that. I so love that. And I know you have many loves, and one of them is your morning show. Tell us a little bit about the morning show, how that came about.
So the morning show, yes, it's one of the things that I'm passionate about, because it allows me to connect with friends and families, members, and ministry partners, to share the gospel. And so it was an opportunity that was presented. Of course, I'm employed at Phoenix College. And one of the things that I do is I serve as the Christian Club advisor. And so I was already kind of working in ministry at the campus. And my colleague, who is Lady Rain, who's also the producer, is currently employed at Phoenix College as well. And she is the club advisor for the NAACP and BSU. So the two clubs had an opportunity to connect, and we realized that we have a lot of things in common. One of them being, supporting the African Americans or Blacks, in their endeavor to get a higher education. And the other is our spiritual walk with Christ. And when we had an opportunity to connect, we understanding that they were we had those commonalities. God just brought us together to do the work for the kingdom, and it's been working for almost 2 years now.
Wow, how amazing. I love that story, because I love the power of women working together. Women can truly work together to bring about change, and that is exactly what you and Lady Rain are doing. So I'm so happy for you, so excited for the work that you guys are doing. Also being at the collegiate level, helping young people and women really understand the value of education, and how many times that can unlock so many doors for you. So I love the work that you're doing in your professional career. And then I also know that you enjoy helping women look their best by being a Mary Kay consultant. So tell me, how did you get into that?
Well, it's Mary Kay is definitely another passion of mine. It's a great organization. It's really about empowering women. And, there's so many professional development opportunities that are attached to being in the business. And that's actually why I was attracted to it. Again, I have a background in my church where, we didn't wear makeup. We didn't, yeah, no color at all. So talk about church hurt. But what happened is my brother's best friend, wife at the time, Joanne, I was introduced to her at a party. And of course, being the type of person that I was then, with the background that I had, I said, no, I'm not interested in Mary Kay. I don't wear makeup. This is not for me. Skincare is perfect, but makeup, no. No, thank you. But it just so happened that God knows what you need when you need it. And Joanne actually stuck with me and provided me other opportunities to fellowship with her and to actually have an experience to where she was ministering to other women in church and helping them to feel beautiful and engaging them and causing them to want to change their life. And for me, that made a profound impact on me in the way that I saw the business. And so it was encouragement for me to join. And then the other thing is that she was leaving her daytime job. And at that time, I wanted to leave my job. So I was like, oh, yeah, consider this an opportunity that is worth taking. And so I pursued it. And I really haven't looked back since then. And I didn't leave that job. I went to a different location. So, but
Wonderful. Now, how many years has it been?
it's been about 10 years now.
Wow, how amazing. I love that. I love, that you're able to do so many different things. I talk about that as women. We are multi-talented, right?
Right.
We can truly wear many, many different hats. And I feel like you are doing it all well. Is there ever a time you feel overwhelmed?
Um, I think, yeah, like right now. So yeah, I uh, really think about what my priorities are these days, especially since I'm in pursuit of my doctoral degree in divinity. So I'm getting ready for my dissertation or to defend the doctorate degree. I'm excited about that. And then I have a few other leadership opportunities that I'm pursuing. So for me, I think it's about finding harmony. I don't know that we will ever find balance,
Right.
but I do try to take time for myself and try to make sure that whatever I'm pursuing is a priority to me. So yeah, like
Well, I think that's really awesome. And I know that not only balancing all the things you do as a woman, a career professional, you do a lot of work in the community. I know I've run into you, I think, at two of the Big Brother, Big Sisters annual gala events. And you have had a little sister there with you. So I know you do a lot of work there with youth, and you have been very instrumental to me in helping in Sisterhood Extravaganza, really helping women understand the value of who we are and to be able to say, how do we work together? And again, you are an example of that. Like I said, you and Lady Rain getting together and doing something great. More women need to see that. They need to see how that evolved, which is why I wanted to have you here today, because you've been such an inspiration to me and all the things that you are doing. I am so, so grateful for you to be here today and to share a little bit with the sisterhood audience who you are and what you do. So, in wrapping up, I always love to ask my guests, what is that one piece of advice that has helped you throughout your journey? Or what advice do you have for someone that could help them along their journey? And what would that advice be for you?
I think the most valuable advice that I would give to others is take your time. I think sometimes in life we are so in a rush to complete the next task, to go into the next challenge, to, advance. And really we miss, the valuable things that are happening in the moment. So embrace the moments, take your time, and live in the moment, because the moment is all that you have. You can't go back in the past to change it, and you can't go in the future to change it. So all you really have is the moment. So embrace the moment. I know it sounds redundant because everybody says it, but it's the truth, because I don't think people realize how valuable the moment is, but it's very valuable.
Wow, that is such great advice, Vashi, to live in the moment. And I think 2020 was our wake up call to teach us that, to reveal things to us. I say it, to me, it was a year of revelation, to reveal things in our areas in our lives that we're not being grateful and living in the moment, right? And so I totally agree with you. That is some of the best advice that you could give to people going along in this journey, to enjoy the ride and live in the moment. So again, I want to thank my special guest today, Vashi Worley Moore, evangelist Vashi Worley Moore, as she is running off right now to get to her sermon. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you guys all for watching Sisterhood Spotlight today. If you are listening on the video podcast right now, thank you so much for listening on Anchor FM and iTunes and Spotify. And then go on over to YouTube and truly like our YouTube channel. Vashi, how do people connect with you? Because they're going to see you and they're going to know that you do so many different things and you are so inspirational. How will people connect with you?
So the best way for people to connect with me is through Facebook. And you can look me up by my name, so Vashi Worley Moore. Or you can also send me an email at vworley48@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to connect with you there.
Okay, so V Worley
48 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. You guys go on over to Facebook, and she is the Vashi Worley Moore on Facebook. So make sure that you definitely check her out there. Okay. So Vashi, thank you so much again for being here today. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to tune in Wednesday and Saturdays. Bye.